You kind of get it, how it all works together, how there's an order and a sense of synchronicity in the universe. So that's kind of the main points that happen inside cosmic consciousness level. So also just to note that to take a quote from his book, Richard Bucke writes that along with the consciousness of the cosmos, there occurs an intellectual enlightenment or an illumination which alone would place the individual on a new plane of existence, would make him a member of a new species. So this is like to achieve cosmic consciousness, according to this writing, was like the next step of evolution for the human race.
Be like reaching a higher dimension, if you will?
Yeah, basically, because right now we're kind of trapped in our third dimensional world. We rely on our five senses to how we pass our judgments, make our decisions. You know, our science is based on five senses right now, and cosmic consciousness kind of takes people to that fourth and fifth dimensional level.
Sixth sense.
Yeah, those gifts start to come about and that type of thing. So it kind of will, if this writing is correct, and a lot of people today are sharing a similar mindset. That's the kind of unique thing about this writing, is that this was written in 1901, which is well over 100 years ago. And at this time, this was one man that experienced this, and he kind of spent a good portion of the remainder of his life researching other people who have experienced similar things throughout history. And up to that point, you know, it was 1901, there was, you know, he could research the people up to that time, so it doesn't really cover what happened after that time period. So we'll discuss at the end of the show kind of where we're going in the 21st century with this whole cosmic consciousness idea. So that kind of leads into a little bit more discussion about what exactly is cosmic consciousness. And we just kind of discussed briefly how it does kind of move you from a mindset of a third dimensional perspective, where the ego was dominated. And, you know, it was ego-centered self-awareness.
Well, wouldn't you agree, though, that most of the people today are wanting to achieve the cosmic consciousness level, but there's one, I guess I could say one hindrance, that they're so wrapped up in sustaining themselves and making a living and providing for the family, that where's the time and the energy to devote to reaching that cosmic consciousness?
Yeah, it's because we're still very focused on our survival needs. There's still a lot of that simple consciousness level in a third dimensional being. As not only do they have the self-realization, but there's that survival factor that is kind of the main focus. And it takes a lot of maturity to really get to the point where you start thinking about self-fulfillment.
Maturity and discipline.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's probably young people that do it too, but you know, we're going to be discussing a little bit some of the traits that he feels that people experience when they go through a cosmic consciousness experience. And we'll kind of cover that in a little bit, so I don't want to jump the gun there. So, you know, in the writing, he says that people are going to start transitioning into the fourth and fifth dimensional beings. And of course that expands sensory perception, and people are going to be using more intuition-based choices to make decisions, and you know, more using intuition for a lot more than they have in the past. So that's kind of something that happens during a cosmic consciousness experience. And You know, right now the third dimensional being is kind of power driven. We're a little bit narcissistic. We have ideals which are socially ingrained inside us. And we try to live up to those ideals, and we're kind of living in the world where I is important. We're very competitive right now, and you know, there's a lot of theory that feel like we're alone in the universe right now.
But that's a misnomer.
Well, there's a lot, you know, people are opening up to the fact that maybe we're not alone in the universe as we get more involved in space exploration.
Well, science is starting to realize that there is a lot more out there than just us. And there's a lot, well, of course, you've got your conspiracy theorists and all that, but, you know...
Well, as the technology becomes available.
Yeah, there's proof that out there that there's other life forms.
Our satellites are going farther, you know, our telescopes are seeing more, and there's being evidence proved that there are additional planets, they're discovering different galaxies, and so, you know, the minds are opening up, and that's kind of all part of the shift that's going on right now with the cosmic consciousness. And although to some who haven't even heard of this before, it might seem like nothing's going on, but to others who are feeling like they're part of this movement, they see it happening around them. You know, their perceptions of things have started to change, and you know, as their soul awakens, they're starting to have an expanded awareness of, and they see how Earth is connected to a greater whole, and how there is a natural order within the universe, and people are starting to understand how we kind of fit into that big plan, what the role of Earth might play in that, or so that's something that kind of helps define what is cosmic consciousness. And you know, as this happens, the self-perception begins to shift, and we start to see, I mean, in the past we haven't really seen the individual as divine. We've always been worshiping something outside ourselves that's divine.
Well, that's through the beginning of time as man has it, though. Man's always been geared to have or have a belief instilled that there is a higher being, and we basically through time have put a figurehead to it.
Yeah, depending on what belief system you follow or what religion you follow, we've always looked outside ourselves to worship something else. So with a change of mindset and developing cosmic consciousness, you start to see yourself as kind of in unity with the divine source, that it's not necessarily out there anymore, it's within you.
Right, it's the I am thing.
Yeah, right, exactly. So you're shifting from the I and the focus on the I to the I am. I am the creator. And I am
the source.
Yeah, the source of the creator. So, you know, you might see some shifting going on in the future of what happens to organized religion. That's just something that, as this movement continues to spread and the individuals start to change their perceptions and see themselves as I am, it'll be interesting to see what happens in that area.
Very interesting.
So as more and more people develop a cosmic consciousness, they're going to move away from an ego-centered individual. You know, that when you're in that mindset, you're vibrating at a low level. When you're focusing on your wants, your needs, what you're lacking in your life.
The blues, the woes.
It creates a state of depression.